have said this ruling is likely to open the door for more aggressive challenges to federal regulations at any agency. In light of this opinion, how will you work to get and keep federal agencies under control, and which agencies, if any, do you feel need your immediate attention? And so who do we start with? Gail, I believe, right? This time, we start with you.
First thing I have said, and I'll repeat right here, first thing we have to do is we have to have a 5% cut across the board. Every government, every department. Every single government department and agency in this country can afford to cut out 5% of its budget. We have to do it. We have to do it. The federal agencies that are getting the kind of money that can't be used for positive things. We have so much fraud, so much waste, so much abuse in the system. We have billions of dollars that's being held up for projects that never even happened. Never even happened. I have an idea. Let's go back and recapture some of that. And let's reallocate it to programs that we do need now. We have a problem in this country with spending money we don't have. Well, we don't here in New Hampshire. Washington has a problem spending money it doesn't have. And that has to stop. And it has to stop by making sure that we take a look at all of the agencies and find out exactly what needs to be cut out.
All right, thank you so much. Russell?
I'm a mechanical engineer, and I develop water treatment equipment to remove contaminants from water. And I know that every single regulation from EPA needs to be reviewed. It needs to be. We need to base that review to be, what is the benefit of spending so much money on water treatment? What is the benefit for the public? And where do we set those standards for contaminant levels? We have many what they call contaminants in our water that are called lifetime contaminants, and that is the PFOA and PFOS. And they're being now measured in parts per trillion. And it's an expensive test that costs $400 to test your water down to the parts per trillion level. So when is the return on investment, meaning health and cost, where do you set those standards? And every single standard needs to be reviewed by professionals.
Thank you. And follow up real quick, would you put the EPA on the top of your list of federal agencies that require the most immediate attention? Like, what agency would you put at the top?
I don't think I could grade all of them, but I know that in my industry,
if that's your area,
it is the top.
Okay,
In
perfect.
my
No, that's a
industry,
fair,
for sure.
fair statement.
Yes.
All right,
Too
Carol.
much.
Well, as I previously stated, I will absolutely fight to abolish the Department of Education. I will fight to abolish the Department of Energy, which is supposed to be unleashing our energy independence, and they're waging a war on our domestic energy production, so we can get rid of that useless three-letter agency. And then what I'll also seek to do as well is to move these bureaucratic agencies out of Washington, D.C. This is an idea that has been proposed, and I think it would be instrumental in helping to drain the swamp and get rid of that bureaucratic state where all of these staffers, these bureaucrats are mooching off our tax dollars and hanging out down in Washington, D.C. And ultimately, I'm running for Congress to make the federal government smaller in every aspect of our lives, in our economy, in our education system, in our election system. And so I will always vote in favor of legislation that is rolling back federal power, reducing red tape, lowering taxes, and getting the government out of our way.
Thank you so much.
Well, I absolutely support the penny plan that Gail was talking about. Rand Paul actually put forward that plan, introduced it in the Senate, and we absolutely need to do that. We need to cut a lot more than 5% from the EPA. They are harassing, we talked about ranchers and farmers earlier, they're harassing our ranchers in this country, so they've got to be dramatically reduced in size and scope. Without a doubt, the entire bureaucracy, the deep state, we need to annihilate them, and the EPA is a part of that. I just want to say too, I really appreciate Gail, you coming out against McCarthy. It's not an easy thing to do. I appreciate you following my lead on that. I sincerely, well, I've been talking about it for a year, but I sincerely appreciate that. And part of the problem is when McCarthy controls, or he will control if he's speaker, every single bill that's brought forward to the House of Representatives. So you can't do anything if he's in charge. Because he controls everything like a dictatorship.
Thank you, Tim. Appreciate it. Next question. We went around, right? Next question. Economy.